They looked unstoppable, unshakable, untouchable. But what happens when fame and fortune collide with a failing body? From sudden strokes to secret battles with cancer and surgeries that came too close for comfort, these stars didn't just face career setbacks, they faced death. In this video, we're diving into the shocking, life-threatening health scares of Hollywood's elite. Some of these stories might change how you see them forever. Jamie Foxx had a brain bleed that led to a stroke when hospitalized in 2023. In April 2023, while filming in Atlanta, Jamie Foxx experienced a severe headache and lost consciousness. He was subsequently diagnosed with a brain bleed that led to a stroke, resulting in a coma lasting approximately 20 days. Upon regaining consciousness, he found himself unable to walk and required extensive rehabilitation to recover his motor skills. Foxx's sister, Deidre Dixon, played a crucial role in his recovery. Recognizing the severity of his condition, she took him to Piedmont Hospital in Atlanta, where doctors performed emergency surgery that ultimately saved his life. In December 2024, Foxx publicly shared details of his medical emergency in his Netflix comedy special, Jamie Foxx: What Had Happened Was, expressing gratitude for his recovery and the support he received during this challenging period. Alicia Witt got a cancer diagnosis just before her parents died. Alicia Witt has faced significant challenges in the early 2020s. Besides dealing with the COVID-19 pandemic like everyone else, she experienced personal tragedies. In late 2021, just before Christmas, her elderly parents, Robert and Diane Witt, were tragically found dead in their Worcester, Massachusetts home. Their cause of death was probable cardiac dysrhythmia, likely due to the cold because their home's heater was broken. Their bodies were only discovered after Witt asked someone to check on them. Adding to her difficulties, Witt was diagnosed with breast cancer shortly before this incident. She revealed her cancer diagnosis in a detailed Instagram post in May 2022, sharing her journey from diagnosis to treatment. By June, she happily announced that she was cancer-free in a video celebrating the end of her chemotherapy. In the post, she explained why she decided to keep her health a secret. "I did deeply wish to keep my diagnosis private until it was 100% healed, God willing. I'm so grateful to all those along the way during treatment who honored me by protecting my privacy during these months." By December 2022, Witt was thankfully celebrating the regrowth of her hair and her new sense of purpose on Instagram. Natasha Lyonne once underwent open heart surgery. In 2012, Natasha Lyonne underwent open heart surgery to repair heart valve damage caused by a heart infection. This condition, known as endocarditis, resulted from her past struggles with heroin addiction. If left untreated, the damage could have been fatal. Reflecting on her recovery, Lyonne shared, "In many ways, the reason I'm not dead is because there's a fighter in me that wants to survive." Her character, Nikki Nichols, in Orange is the New Black, also underwent open heart surgery, and Lyonne used her real surgical scar in the show without added prosthetics. Ashton Kutcher was diagnosed with an autoimmune disease. In 2019, Ashton Kutcher experienced a serious health scare when he woke up one day to find that he could barely see or hear and couldn't walk due to a condition called vasculitis, a rare autoimmune disorder that causes inflammation in the blood vessels. This experience made him realize how much he had taken his health for granted and motivated him to work hard on his recovery. The process was slow, difficult, and frustrating, but he kept pushing himself until he improved. He hadn't intended to share his diagnosis publicly, but it was revealed during an episode of Running Wild with Bear Grylls. He told Esquire, "At the end of the day, I have to look at it and be like, all right, well, maybe it needed to come out." Demi Moore had a health scare after her divorce from Ashton Kutcher. After Demi Moore's split with Ashton Kutcher, she was hospitalized, leading to rumors about drug problems. A representative told TMZ that Moore was seeking help for exhaustion, while sources told People that her prescription drug use contributed to the breakdown of her marriage. Kutcher reportedly wanted her to take care of herself, but she struggled to do so. Moore had gone to rehab in the 1980s and had been sober for many years, though this might have changed. In her memoir Inside Out, Moore admitted she was hospitalized after a bad reaction to nitrous oxide and synthetic marijuana, which made her feel like she was slipping away. After that frightening experience, she decided to reflect on her life and face her challenges. Michelle Monaghan didn't know what skin cancer was until she was diagnosed with it. Michelle Monaghan's perspective on skin health changed after being diagnosed with melanoma. As a skin cancer advocate, she emphasizes the dangers of UV exposure and supports initiatives against cancer-causing tanning beds. In an interview with Refinery29, she shared her personal experience of neglecting sun protection in her past, including using tanning beds. "I remember the very first time I went in for that 20-minute session. I came out burned to a crisp because I have such fair skin. Little did we all know at the time how very dangerous tanning beds are. I'd always had a mole, a little smaller than my pinky nail, on the back of my left calf. I never paid any attention to it." Her wake-up call came when a mole on her leg changed, leading to a melanoma diagnosis in 2007. Despite initial dismissal, she underwent surgery to remove the cancerous mole. She has since educated herself on skin cancer and emphasizes the cumulative effects of sun exposure. She encourages regular skin checks, proactive mole removal, and overall sun safety, particularly for women. Deborah Ann Wool has suffered from celiac disease since she was an infant. Deborah Ann Wool has been managing celiac disease since infancy, a hereditary condition that renders her body intolerant to gluten. She has mentioned that her husband's courage in confronting his own health challenges has been a source of inspiration for her in dealing with celiac disease. Health problems have plagued Jameela Jamil throughout her life. In the years since garnering fame, Jameela Jamil has been outspoken about the range of health problems she suffered earlier in life, in the hopes of making people more aware of taking care of their own minds and bodies. The actress has suffered from myriad health problems since childhood. Born partially deaf, she was in and out of the hospital for surgery as a child. Today, she has 70% audibility in her left ear and 50% in her right. She also has severe allergies to shellfish and peanuts, as well as celiac disease, so she has to follow a very careful diet. Making Easy A taught Emma Stone that she actually suffers from a disease. Emma Stone has an interesting story from her time filming the teen movie Easy A. During a scene where her character pretends to be intimate, Stone had to bounce on a bed and yell, which unexpectedly led to her having an asthma attack. Surprisingly, this was the first time she realized she had asthma, as she had never experienced an attack before. She humorously shared this incident with MTV News. "Oh, for the love, I can't even simulate sex without dying. I had a little asthma attack without any prior knowledge that I had asthma during the scene where we had to jump up and down for hours and hours screaming and yelling on the bed. It was humiliating because it was the second day of shooting." Mae Whitman was diagnosed with endometriosis. Mae Whitman was diagnosed with endometriosis in 2019 after years of debilitating pain. Endometriosis is a painful condition where tissue similar to the lining of the uterus grows outside of it. Whitman felt pain from endometriosis as young as 7, but her family thought she was lactose intolerant. Her condition worsened around age 15 or 16, causing her to vomit from the pain. No treatments helped, and she even had to turn down acting opportunities. At 30, her diagnosis provided answers and a treatment plan, but the condition is incurable. After surgery, her pain isn't as intense, but she still experiences symptoms like bloating, nausea, extreme fatigue, and panic attacks. Behind the headlines and glamour lies a truth we often forget. Celebrities are human too. If this video reminded you of that, give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who needs to hear these stories. Which of these scares did you already know, and which one shocked you most? Let us know in the comments, and stay tuned for more untold Hollywood truths.